early evening to you, Firesiders, and welcome to this fourth Fireside Chat as we enter the fourth week of the month. Of the month, and news has started to come forth about testing for the. Soon, we'll all be able to go forth into the world and resume our lives, resume the lives we knew. What? And there's even more news about optimism about a forthcoming baseball season. With that in mind, I wanted to share with you a moment in baseball history which had many qualities now being put to the test, which had many qualities now being put to the test by a current crisis. It took place on April 8th, 1969 at Wrigley Field. First of all, at a time when very few people are gathering in mass, I thought it appropriate to talk about a record-setting gathering. It had everything. It had many things which could be related to this crisis. Unity. 40,800 people rising as one to cheer the Cubs on. I talked in my song on the second video about rising as one and raising a mighty cheer. If that's not rising as one and raising a mighty cheer, then I don't know what is. Another story of unity. Illinois Governor Richard Ogilvie and Chicago Mayor Richard J. Daley set aside their differences, sat together behind the Cubs dugout, united in the common interest of rooting the Cubs on. Then there was resiliency. The ability to bounce back. Not just the Cubs, but both teams. We're down a run at going into the Cubs were down a run going into their half of them. Two swings of the bat from mighty, known in Chicago as from the bat. Two swings of the bat from resiliency, the ability to bounce back. The Cubs were down a run. The Cubs were down a run when they came up for their first at bat. But thanks to two mighty swings from Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks, they were up 5-1 before they were up 5-1 after 3 innings. Then it was the Phillies' turn to play comeback. They had a special. It's always special when a rookie hits his first home run. But to do it on opening day, in front of a sold-out crowd at historic Wrigley Field, must have made Don Money feel like $1 million. Brewer fans will remember Money, whose 3-run home run, as the man whose 3-run home run on the last day of the 1982 regular season put the game out of reach and the Orioles out of contention. But that's another story for another time. By the time By the time Fergie Jenkins left after 8 innings, it was all tied, 5-5. After they held each other scoreless through the 10th, the Phillies broke on top with a run in the 11th. And once again it was time for the Cubs to play comeback. The Phils broke on top with a after they held each other scoreless through the 10th. The Phils broke on top with a run in the top of the 11th. Then came the moment that made the game what it is today. With Regan's spot due up in the bottom of the 11th, it was time for the newest Cub to make his debut. And it fits the Corona crisis perfectly. Went on him. Because at times like this, previously unheralded people can come through when we need them. Such was the case with Willie Smith. And he parked it deep to right. And Jack Brighouse and Vince Lloyd put him in the history books. Next came a celebration that would have violated all sorts of social distancing restrictions. Vince Lloyd of WGN Radio described it this way: "The whole ball club is out at home plate as a welcoming committee for Willie. They mob him at home plate. It makes me look forward to a time very soon when we can mob each other in similar celebration. But it won't be until we've told this virus, hey, it's all over." As Brickhouse said in his equally, if not more famous television call. Thank you I hope you enjoyed the broadcast, if not the outcome.